Hello and welcome to jaidrivingschool.com. My name is Jayashree Somaya. Now I'm going to talk about traffic lights. This is a crossroad intersection, and this is very common type of crossroad intersection. You can come across this kind of traffic light at this common crossroad intersection. Now this traffic light has got three lights in there. Either you get red light or green light or yellow light. So you either get red light or green light or yellow light. So this traffic light has got only three lights, but you can get any of these three combinations as you're approaching the traffic light. Now, when we are approaching the traffic light, we have to think of a couple of things. If you're far away from the traffic light, and if you're approaching towards the traffic light, and if you see from far distance the light is green, and if you're far away from the traffic light, you have to think by the time I reach the traffic light, the lights may turn orange and red. So you have to glance in your rear vision mirror to see what's happened, what traffic, what type of car, how much traffic is behind you and how fast those cars are coming from behind you. If they are coming very fast, and if you are also going very fast, and by the time you reach the traffic light, and if the light changes to orange and red, and if you have to do sudden braking, then you will create a dangerous situation from behind you. By doing sudden braking and coming to stop, the back driver may come and hit you. So we say from far distance, if you see the traffic light is green, you expect a change, slightly decrease your speed and slow the back driver down. So in case if you come and stop here at the lights when the light turns orange and red, then the back driver won't come and hit you. Okay, at this intersection, you are approaching from this side. Now, this is your stop line. First line is your stop line. Other two lines are pedestrian crossing line. In the test, if you are approaching red light, you make sure you come to stop behind the stop line and within 1 meter from the stop line. You can't stop too far from the stop line. More than 1 meter away from the stop line. That is not accepted in the test. So you have to be near the stop line, within 1 meter from the stop line, and you cannot go and stop over the stop line in the test when you have a red light. That is a fail item too. So you make sure when you are stopped at the traffic light, when it's red, you must stop behind the stop line. Now this is a pedestrian crossing, as well as this is also pedestrian crossing. So sometimes pedestrian crossing is like this or like this. So you make sure when you stop, you do not block the pedestrian crossing. If you are stopped here, you make sure you do not touch, your tires do not touch the pedestrian crossing line in the test, because it's a fail item. So you are approaching red light and you have stopped at the red light. When the light turns green, and if you are going straight ahead, check right, across, left, and the pedestrian in front of you, and then start going through the green light. So when you get green light, you can't shoot out without checking around, because a side street car still could be going through the red light. Sometimes they are coming so fast and the light suddenly changes to orange and red, and if it is very hard for them to stop, sometimes they are going through red light, or a drunk person could be going through red light. So you have to check around before you start going through the green light, and that is the must requirement in the test. Okay, if you're going to turn left and if you get a green light, and if you're turning left and if you get a green light, the pedestrian will get a walk light. So when you get green light, just look around, no cars coming towards you. Look in the front, no pedestrian is running across that pedestrian crossing, and creep out. And if you see pedestrian walking across, because they have a green person, they can walk, they got a green walk light, then you creep in the intersection and stop for the pedestrians. Once the pedestrians are out of your way, then you can start turning. You can turn in any lane, left or right. And that's how you make a left turn at the green light. If you are approaching the traffic light and you are far away, and if you see the lights are green, you are expecting a change, and you, as you are approaching, the green light turned orange and you're far away from the traffic light, then you must be ready to stop. And by the time you are near to the traffic light, if it turns red, you must come to stop behind the stop line. But if you are close to the traffic light, you have expected a good change. It was a green light, and as you are very close to the traffic light, if the light turns orange suddenly, and if you are very close to the traffic light, and if you think you will need to do sudden braking and you may create a dangerous situation from behind you, then at that orange light, you can quickly and carefully get out of the intersection. But make sure as you are getting out of the intersection, you are not too slow. Otherwise, within 4 seconds, the orange light will turn red. And then sometimes my learners are so slow, they are not looking at the lights, and they had entered the intersection when it was orange, and they are going so slow, it turns red, and they haven't noticed that the lights have turned red, and they are still going through the intersection. So make sure when you have entered the intersection at orange light, then quickly and carefully get out of the intersection. Even if you're turning left and you have entered the intersection, or you have rolled over the stop line, then don't come to stop. Just you can go through that orange light, you can turn left. And if you do stop, make sure you have stopped behind the stop line. But if you stop in the pedestrian crossing area, then, and if it turns red and if you don't go through, you are blocking the pedestrian crossing area, and it's a fail item. So any pedestrian walking across this way, once you get red light, they get green walk light to walk across in front of you, and you are blocking the pedestrian crossing area, then you fail the whole test. So make sure you do not block the pedestrian crossing area. Thank you.